Hello and welcome to a part number 2 and going back in time and trading the Bela chart, which was started at zero point 0.1 Bitcoin. Now we're 6.2, and it's going to be worth a lot more when this is over. I have a buy order that I would be putting in at 624, 474, and 379. Have a bunch of lines up here, but I think you'd be wanting to have a sell order in close to 1,000. Again at 1,500. And although they're not shown, I think you should always have a lot of sell orders up top. Realistically, 2,500, 37, 5,000, 7,500, 10,000. And then as you sell higher, the amount you sell are lower. And you can go to some pretty insane numbers. There's nothing wrong with going 20 times higher because markets will do that. But let's play the game through and have the markets move. We are on September the 23rd, 2016, back in time. And we're looking at Bela. The time frame is the 4-hour time frame. And 624 was a bottom at 621. So a situation in which a buy order would place itself through. It would cost 0.43 Bitcoin, which means you have 1.49. Losing out on a little bit of buying opportunities, but you still have a good amount of Bitcoins available. But for what it's worth, price is getting lower. You'd buy 0.3 the next time, maybe 0.22, so on and so forth. Let's put this sell order in here, but let's move this 900 up to about here and play it through. So here you are, starting on the 26th. And we'll see how long it would take before anything happens. So there's 4 days in September. You did nothing. 26th, the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, the 30th. Now into the 3rd day of October. You're getting no, oh, there's a note. Nope, no buy order there. Nope. Thought I hit one of the lines there. So now the first week of October, 7 days go through, not a single transaction. And with these wild moves, a bunch of sell orders would have came in. I see 861, 1128, 1500. I said 2500 would have been a sell order. Just put it there. So here's the situation into late 2016 where this thing just broke out huge. So let's fill in these sell orders. This was just a reference for where I last left off. So selling 50,000 at a time. The sells came in at 861 first. So let's get the 861 price in. 50,000 sold at 1128. 50,000 sold at 1463. And 50,000 sold at 2473. And actually it's 7. And the price down to 1739 gives you 9.5 Bitcoin portfolio and 4.5 Bitcoins available to you to buy more coins with. All right then, so let's put some of these into buy orders again. 474 is the lowest. This one is going to be moved from 861, and let's buy in at, say, 6. 607. 1100 we can move into, say, 765. 1463 we can put in above 1,000, and 2400 we can put in at, say, man, these things fall hard when they go up like this, so you don't want to buy too high. Something to remind with any of these codes. And then you got this one here to bring. Let's put a buy order here. Maybe reduce this down a bit. And this one as well. All right, so there we have buy orders. I can see like 370 something, 474, 614, 752, 1010, 1247, and 1503. Now, technically speaking, I could have said the 1503 would hit. And if you're fast enough, sure, but let's get real. There's going to be times where you're sleeping. There's going to be times when you're out. There's going to be times where you just do other things. The whole point of this strategy is putting one in place that can make superior gains without much time on one person's effort into trading. And I think this doesn't put much time in place at all. Let's continue on with this game. And sell orders in at, let's just take a look at how many tokens we got left. 290,000. Let's take this one here and just put another sell order in here for up at this point. And I guess 4,000. It doesn't go higher, but we'll say 4,000 if it goes higher. At least not yet, it doesn't go there. Okay, so there is these two buy. This is a 1010. What does the actual low come in at? 1,000. So there's 3 different buy orders that get filled. And the last amount of sales was 1 Bitcoin, 0.7, 0.56. You want those numbers to be lower than that. 50,000 were bought. You can definitely buy around 75,000. So if we buy 75,000 each time, we can see 1503 gets filled, 1247 will get filled, and 1010. And we could probably get away with a little more each time, 80,000 here. So 1.13. Actually, let's do it. That's too much as it is. Let's go 65,000, 70,000, and like 80,000. Because that would work out to 1.6, 2.6 and change. And your last 3 sells netted you actually 2.5. That's still way too many. So let's go 60,000 buy, 65,000, and 75,000. And with the price at this stage, portfolio would be worth 8.3 Bitcoins. You'd have 1.9 to buy with. The last buy was 0.7. So you want to make sure that your buys maybe go down a bit, but you buy at 1,000, you're going to buy to like 750 and then lower than that. So then the areas where we sold last, this 1,500, mark maybe up here. This 1247, maybe we can put down or up towards this area, and this one maybe at 1613, and even the 614, because we don't want to buy too much, I'll put it way up here for the future. That's really like 5,000. Okay, let's move on. And as I'm playing this game, in real life, I'd buy and sell these things multiple times. I was just notified that I bought some Bitcoin Cash. That's something I'm playing this way right now. So I'm going to be looking to put a sell order higher on that. But that is not with part of this video. Let's move on. 752 buy, 1613 sell. We'll see what the next situation is. Looks like a buy, and it is. So 752 buy. So that costs 0.6. So the price is the costs go down a bit. You have 1.3, so you have a few more buys left in you that way. Plan this very aggressive to see how high this can go up. Now this is now a sell order, so let's sell this up towards here. So 474 or 1300, let's just round it down a bit. 1281. And below 474, if we see the buy order hit, that's what it is. If not, around 300, 250. Below 474, then 250 below that, you might be buying at about 175 or even 125. But here's a situation of time where the market's doing like absolutely nothing. Like literally absolutely nothing in around 800. So this is a spot where if this is all you're trading, you could easily allocate vacation time, and you could definitely afford it with the movements and buying and selling. As effective as this is, some downward action, but no buy orders get hit. Okay, one got, nope, no buy orders hit. This selling goes up to 950, no sell order, same thing, I move up to 1,000. Now it's getting wild for volatility. You can see how the 18 average band gets thicker. Now you see it crunching together during this correctionary phase, showing signs now it wants to break out. This is a great bullish sign to go long, and it's going down, but that's why you don't get out now. You hold your position, maybe buy a bit more with it's in this band. Although there's definitely concern if this thing were to break down, but it's not breaking down on that sense. That even if you find a good bullish position like that, sometimes you have to wait for the gains, and there we are. Okay, there's your gains. 1281 is sold. And we're now into the November of last year, 1281. And at this stage, holding 570,000, selling 60,000 is now something that can be done. So this is going to be needed to be bought back cheaper. 750-ish or so seems fine for me. Let's keep the game going. You already know you got sell orders up top. If it crosses one of those lines, that's a notification. There's your notification that you've had a sell order. Sell order done at 16.13. Now, if you're talking about, man, this volatility, yeah, 60,000 you could easily trade, but if the numbers get too big, you couldn't do it. Well, codes like Ripple, you could. I could do the exact same thing with Ripple, and the gains are going to be tremendous trading this way. So 16.13, let's buy that back at around 1,000 and keep the game going. So the amount that we're selling, 60,000, you could do that like 3, 4, 5 times in a row, and then you might have to reduce your sales a little bit. But there's nothing wrong with selling like 10% of your stack as far as how many you own per time. And then, of course, always trying to buy it back. There's a spot where it looks like we got the exact bottom, 1,003. It goes down to 1,002. So if you're selling 60, you should be buying back like 75. So now we can put this back into sell territory and keep the market going. And you're just waiting. I mean, for all this, I'm going to call this technical nonsense only because it can be hard to understand what to do in given situations. And even when something's the right play, you got to put a lot of focus and time to it. Watch out for failed moves. We could see that this was a failed breakout that occurred, and after the failed move down, boom, there was some selling opportunities. No sell orders in here for us on this example, but other people, you could sell here, buy it back cheaper. Opportunities galore on so many different time frames. You could play short term, but just look for 10% gains on like 1,400. You're going 1,400 to 1,540. That's barely a push. Now I see a sell that would come in here at 1657. So with that, you're going to buy that back cheaper. The 1,000 seems to be good. I mean, with these codes, there's these big volatility which can allow you to do things. This can be done with a lot of almost all of the codes out there. There's just wonderful volatility that can be had, close to a sell order at 2,000 coming in place. And technically speaking, I mean, a little under 2,000 I'd rather sell at. So 1994. So it either goes close to 2, which is where it's closest to now, or 1,000 before the next transaction. There's a decent fall, decent rise, decent fall, and a lot of short-term opportunities there. And some sick volatility as it heads soon into 2017. That's probably going to be a 15 minutes in. We could do 16 minutes in. Not too sure how long this will be. Can't see me doing too many more of these because it is a time restraint, but it's actually kind of fun, like a video game, which can be done in real life, of course, which is what the whole point of me doing this for. But here's another example. You're going all of these days without any attention. Now, when you're doing this with 10, 15 different codes, that's good because you're going to have situations where one day this code goes off, and you can have 2 days without a single trade while you're playing around with like 20 different codes because all of this happens. And it's fine. Just let it be. You need not need to care really about the news other than the actual crypto state market in itself. Because if the crypto market falls on you, that's when everything would fall on you here. If everything were to go to like nothing kind of deal. But here we are now as we into January the 10th. That's every day in January, no transactions, many days before Christmas. You'd be going 3 weeks or so without a transaction notice on your exchange. In this case, it'd be POLONIEX you'd be trading on with this. That's a nice bullish situation when you're looking at this now. Definitely reason to go long, and you can see nice breakout. Congesting, holding well amongst the band, but there's the breakout pattern. Decent buying opportunity if you were to believe it, and it's obviously going to become such because this thing is going to be ready to take off soon. It's bottoming soon. I mean, you don't know this when you're trading, but because I've been there, done that, and there's some takeoff time. Where's the sell orders? Did all my lines disappear on me? Nope, 1994. It's just that when it went down, I just didn't place any buy orders in or new sell orders in. But do you know what that happens? If you're going to notice that a lot of times when prices move away from different reflection points like this 1994 sell order, it could take some time to get there. First trade of the year, it's late January. So you're talking about watching the Pro Bowl for pro football. The last time you had a trade, it was like week 17 or 16 of the week 15 or 16 of the NFL, or like 5-6 weeks ago. 1994 is sold. Sold for over a Bitcoin too. That is just incredible. Now you'd be talking in real life about Bitcoin prices close to $1,000. You would have started off with enough to buy like 4 people lunch at McDonald's or 5 people lunch at McDonald's. Now at $1,000 Bitcoin prices in 0.9, you're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. So therefore, this line will have to get moved lower. We're already buying at 1,000, so let's go at about 15.14 and play it through. Now, as far as I could put more lines in if needed. I was going to say I'm going to have a sell order in. Well, there's one right here. But I'm going to need a sell order in close to like 3,000 and 5,000 realistically. I'd have sell orders in. 15.18 is a buy. So buy for 1.14 after selling for 1.19. Maybe you want to profit take a bit more. You may want to buy 70,000, add 10,000 to the stock. 475,000 available, so selling at 60,000. 1/8 of the stack. I know I mentioned 10%, 12, 15%, obviously viable as well. So we'll keep it at that. This sell order will now be moved up to say, we'll go under 1987. And there's some big moves that happen. 1987, 23, 27, and 28.69 all get filled. And these are days that make you really happy because you get money, you get profit. That's what you're in it for. And of course, with these buys or sells, you're looking to buy them all back later. It's all part of the game. You hold 235,000 of these still. At the time, these were 2688. So it'd be worth like 15 Bitcoin. And at the time, that'd be like $15,000-ish. Not bad. And you'd have 9 Bitcoins in itself right now. You started with 0.1. And we're not even done yet. This thing is going to be going so much more nuts. Let's drop this one down to, we already got 1,000, so let's go into 13. Let's bring this down to, say, 15. This one down to 2,000. This is in linear settings, so I have to think. And then right in here. So you got all of these buy orders in. So I guess there's no sell orders up top, I don't think. 5,000 and 7,500. None of them get hit, though, because I know the market doesn't go there. So let me just... But that's where they would be. So let's continue on with the market movement. And there's some buys that got hit. 1989, 1721. So just buying a little bit more each time, 10,000 more. Helps you increase your amount. Let's just put this sell order back in close to previous high. And let's put a sell order in here, say around 25. So now we're buying at 1,500, selling at 25. Let's play the game. See, before you weren't doing anything for a while. Now every so often you're getting notification. Now you haven't been getting any in a while. Oh boy, did that hit well. High was 25.04. There was 24.94. Worked out well. These key numbers just work. They really, really do. 24.94. This is just fantastic when you can do this. So we'll put that buy back in, say around this previous resistance level. Maybe a little above 1,800. 1,809 looks great. Selling at 32, buying at 18. Let's play the game. That looked like it hit the 18. It did. So now in this situation, you have 7 Bitcoins, you have 385,000, in this case Belas you'd have, and a portfolio worth 14 Bitcoins. We'll play this out to 30 minutes. We're going to have to definitely do a part 3 to this for sure. Let's continue on, play the game. So, therefore, after this buy, let's put a new sell order in. Let's go before this previous high, around 24.75, and continue further, 1500 or 25. That's the next move. And now as a trader, you check your daily notifications. Nothing's coming up. You don't even need to check the chart, but there was a notification for selling. You got a 24.75 notification. This is a 4-hour chart, so assume it's been 8 periods or so. That's a day, approximately. Price is 21.11, and you found out you sold at 24.75, but I'm not going to buy it now. I'm going to wait to buy it back cheaper. But let me put the 24.75 in the spreadsheet. It's almost time to increase these numbers, probably to 70,000 cells very soon. Owning 325, I wouldn't mind picking up a buy order or two first. So we'll need a buy order for this sale. We'll say in at around we'll do this previous area at 1911, 1915. And the market goes up and it hits the 31.95. Another sell order. And the key thing is you really start with nothing. And if it goes to zero, then you play the next one like this. Look how many I could play to nothing with this profit if I wanted to. But at this time frame, you would see your portfolio worth 18 Bitcoin, having actually 10 Bitcoins on your balance, over 250,000 of these tokens. And your first ever buy was 50,000 at the price of 30 satoshi. Totally outperforming the market of just buying and holding this. And then you got Bitcoin gains on top of it. A lot of extra gains. So this 31.95, it's got to be brought back. Markets usually come back to where they come from. So 23.91. Although it should go 24 low change. And then 5,000, but it doesn't go there. Actually, it will soon. It will soon, actually. 24.10 gets bought. So sell up here and play the game. Oh, that was close, wasn't it? No sell there, though. Almost. That wasn't close. That was a sale. 32.29. And we'll try to buy it back again where it came from. 2,400. Selling at 5. And it's not going to take long before it goes up there. It's going to be 5,000 soon. And what I'm going to do is put in a sell order. In here. And I'm going to need some of these, another one up top for later on. Because those buys will never get filled, as well as some other ones. Although they'll be getting filled now, that's the scary part. So other than now, they won't be getting filled. So 49.95 I'll put as my sale, which I know gets hit because it goes to 6,000 and change here. And there's a 6,000 and change. So this is when I actually sold myself in real time. I stated this was a time to sell and that you could buy back cheaper. It worked out to be correct. I already know back then the buy spots with the technical analysis that I'd done was to buy it around 2,532. Those were the best buy spots. So I'm going to put this one in at around 32. And I'm going to move this up a little over here. And in reality, your sell totals, your figures are much higher than that. But we'll watch these corrections come into play because both the 32 and the 25 will get filled. Those targets that get hit were nothing. And I wouldn't have sold at the 66. After 5,000, you're talking about selling at 7,500 or 10,000. So the move to 67, there's the hit at 32.64. And then you place that back to where it came from. Put these above higher. Because 64, then you'd have like even 10,000, 15,000. That's, and then higher than that, but it didn't go that high. So now we're waiting for 25.44. That will happen. That will be a bottom. Or maybe it was the miss. I remember I had some decent buys that I left on the table there at 25. I remember that. Okay, well that buy is not going to hit. The market's going to keep going higher. But I'm going to pause this tape right now. End it soon. And then complete it for a final part. What's going to happen is this thing is going to rally up big to 15,000. Pull back. Actually, no, I can do this fast. I can do this fast. Let me go on. Because I know this thing is going to shoot up and it's going to, first you're going to get your 5,000 sell target in, or 6,000 in this case. And then you're going to get a 10,000 and a 15,000 sell target that will come in as well. But this would be a spot in time where you're just waiting and waiting, and there's the breakout time. A lot of short-term buying and selling. And I did a lot of short-term buying and selling back then. But I kind of regret it because I think it would have been better just to play it this way. Play for the bigger moves. So much more profitable that way. And then the 64.20 buyback would be back in here. And this thing's going to shoot up to quite a high margin. But even the short-term variant moves in here are tremendously available for, well, they're there for tremendous opportunities. I said that tremendous word at the wrong time. This is where I could just speed it up faster. But when you do that, it just doesn't pause. It might work out this way. So let me fill in the orders this way. So there would have been 60,000 sold at around 99. 16,000 sold at 14,975. Which meant after selling at 14, you'd be looking to be buying back at 10,000. And then again, maybe at around 75 and 5,000. And at 11,000 price, This would mean you would have 30 Bitcoin cash available to you. I mean, how you doing? And your other Belas are worth 12. I mean, how you doing for profit? Start with 0.1, worth again like enough for like 4 or 5 McDonald's meals. At this time, with Bitcoin prices over around a couple $1,000, that's about that's pretty good. 42,000, $85,000. Wow. Oh, it'll go higher. Well, we'll see because it goes down a lot. No, but you're holding on a lot of the. So the time will move on. There's the 10,000 buy. So you put that up near this previous high. Continue the game. Now this goes in a big time bear market from here. So a whole bunch of time, not much happening. Oh, missed it on a beautiful sell there. But we're heading into May, so it's only a few more months until. Let's just get this thing going faster, speed it up. And if you're watching this in live time, it's like watching the grass grow. Worse than that, grass move faster in relevance. But here into June, another missed sell opportunity. Another missed sell opportunity, 15,000. See, there you go, like previous high, not adjusting your sell orders, opportunities missed. Yet in this situation, it's all fine and dandy because the numbers are always going to work out well for you. And once this will pause on me, which it's not, $74.17's a buy. It just keeps going. There we go. And then 74.17. It's not going to go there, but you'd sell it much higher. Maybe up here. And then as we finish this off, 38 minutes, and I've never done a 40-minute before. I hope it works. I'll find out though. There's a buy-in. What's a pause it? Come on, pause. As efficient as the currency system. And then we'll place a sell order up here. And the market's moving, doing its thing. But unless you get your buy order hit, I think I have some lower. If not, we'll talk about 2,000, 2,400. I did have that 2,500 in there. I know that. Front got missed. So that would be a relative area for the buy. And in situations of this nature, sometimes you get to periods where you just accumulate like no other. This is one of them. So 2 buy orders get hit. And yet I can't pause this. $25, $44, $19. Look at that. It's okay. 3 buy orders get hit. So 25, 44, 1915, 1497. So the sell orders you tried to buy back from an eternity ago are now in place. You'd have 10 Bitcoins, but you're worth a lot less now as far as your portfolio, only worth 17, but you started with 0.1. And we're now at pretty much today's time frame. Okay, that's just a previous buy. And it's done with the price at $13.53. And when you have a situation of these codes, I've noticed a lot of times a lot of things going way up, a lot of sell orders, way down, a lot of buy orders. So this has already went through a lot of way down situation moments. Now the amount of gain from the starting buy of 50 translated to be 27 times higher because the very first buy was for 30 actually. Let me just change that then. $45 times higher. Because say 2 people decided, okay, one person just bought it at that price, has held it, has never ever done anything with it since, and has the exact same amount they started with, they have 45 times more, so 0.1 would mean they are worth 4.5 Bitcoin. But in this case, you not only outperformed buying and holding, you did so when it had a huge gain. That becomes hard to do within this. You'll notice sometimes you can play a strategy within this and see after it gains like 30 times that you're only up 20 times overall because of all the stuff you liquidated at cheaper prices. But overall, in the long run, when you see things move up and down like this, it's always going to usually work out to some great situations. But it's important to always profit take. I'm going to show you one quick stock code to show you why. And that's the yellow pages on the Canadian Stock Exchange. I mean, this is a 4-hour chart, but it's like whatever. But if I put this on, say, a long term, like say a monthly term time frame, it was a lot higher. So these things can crash to like nothing in that sense. So here's where you just buy, and you're like, okay, what do I was worth so much back here. And if stuff like this happens and you're like, oh geez, at least in a situation like in here, if you control it so that maybe 6 of those Bitcoins never ever can be used to buy, you guarantee yourself if a situation like this happens, you're safe. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.